Hi guys, welcome to another lesson. Today we're going to look at urban transport. We'll go back to Hong Kong. Here's a picture of Hong Kong, which I'm sure you know. Have a think about how good urban transport is in Hong Kong. Most of you at one time or another probably use it, maybe on a daily basis. Think about why it's so good, but also think about the impact that this will have on the carbon footprint or the amount of fuel that each person uses in Hong Kong. I come back again and again and again to this idea of population density. And if you have a look on page 46, you will see a really strong piece of evidence there. Look at diagram figure 14 and describe the relationship. Describe the relationship between the area in square metres that each person has in the city. That's on the x-axis, and the y-axis is the average amount of fuel the per person uses in a year. And you'll see that there's quite a strong relationship. The smaller the area per person, the smaller the amount of fuel that they use. People that live in crowded cities use less fuel. Think about the reasons why. We've already discussed these at some time in class. Goes back to that photograph of Hong Kong. Again, that will give you more clues as to why Hong Kong will be right the way down in the bottom left-hand side of that graph. Let's have a think about London and the congestion charge. About 10 years ago, and you can watch the videos, London introduced a congestion charge. If you want to take your car into central London during a weekday, you have to pay for the privilege. And the idea of this was that you don't want people to take their car into the city. So the cost, which I think is £10, discourages you from taking your car into London. If you want to take your car into London, you can, but you have to pay for the privilege. What's going to happen with all of that money? Well, that money was going to be invested in public transport to make the buses and the trains and the trams more efficient and more pleasant to use and cheaper. Here you can see on this map, you'll see these little signs all around London for the congestion charge. You'll automatically be charged. They've got cameras watching you, recording your number plate. And there you can see the boundary of London. You go inside into the orange area and you will have to pay the congestion charge. Now, understandably, not everybody is particularly happy about this. Here they interview some people and there's a range of views and opinions about the congestion charge. It's not going to be popular with everybody, but it costs money. But what we're talking about is getting people out of the car. It's quite amazing that this dude here, he's in his great big van and he's saying, I'm in a great big van, I think it's 5 litres, I shouldn't have to pay because my car doesn't produce much pollution. Well, actually your van does produce a lot of pollution. But of course people have different opinions about the congestion charge. There'll be some organisations that are for the congestion charge. One of these organisations that will be really for it will of course be an organisation like Greenpeace. The motoring organisations, they're not going to be too happy with this. There's Ken. He was the Mayor of London. He's justifying why London should have the congestion charge. Listen to what he say and make some notes on this. Of course, there will be differences of opinions about it. Remember, what we're about is trying to reduce the congestion, encourage people to use public transportation, make it cheaper for them and make it more pleasurable. In fact, probably much more like the Hong Kong experience. And we also want to reduce greenhouse gases. The aim was to reduce greenhouse gases in the central zone by 20%, reduce pollutions that adversely affect the health of Londoners by 12% and reduce that congestion. So that was the aim of the policy. Unfortunately, what's happened over a period of time is people have got more and more used to the concept of paying it and just have accepted it and are actually paying it, and now congestion is back to exactly where it was 10 years ago. I would say the response to that is, well, start charging people more. Put it up to £25 and put it up and up and up and up until people are forced out of their cars. But hey, you know, I don't own a car, so people are going to think very differently from me. Finally, if you want, don't have to, but if you want, there's some news articles that you can watch that look at pollution in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is considering, guess what, having the congestion charge. So if your parents own a car, be warned, the congestion charge may be coming towards Hong Kong Island. Does say here, if you read the article, 1 in 4 wants to escape the pollution. We like to blame a lot of our pollution on mainland China. Yes, of course, some of it does come from mainland China, but we also have to recognise you can't blame everything on mainland China. Quite a lot of it does come from our cars and from our very old cars. Could congestion charge be one way to make sure that all Hong Kong people breathe better air? As always, guys, watch the videos, make notes on them, make notes on the PowerPoint. If you're not sure about things, please, your first port of call will be to have a look in the Blue Book. If you don't understand from the Blue Book, please Skype or Facebook or call up your study buddy. If you still don't understand or you have things that you want to comment about or talk about, get yourself onto the Google moderator for this section. Post your questions. If you can answer another student's question, please do so. If you like the question, click on the green tick. That question will work at the top. And in the lesson, what we will do is we'll deal with the questions, comments and queries and suggestions that people have added to Google Moderator.